Jason "Wee Man" Acuña might be the most recognizable member of the Jackass cast, but this skateboarder's got some tricks you haven't seen, and some tacos you have to try. Jason Acuña's father, George, served in the United States Army and was stationed in Germany when he met and married Acuña's mother. The couple was transferred to a base in Pisa, Italy while his mother was pregnant. Though English is his first language, Acuña's mother taught him German as a boy and he remains fluent in the language. He told Steve-O on the Steve-O Wild Ride podcast,
"You know, when you're a kid and you're asking your mom, what's this? My mom would tell me in German and I'd be like, no, not that funny language."
Eventually, Acuña would settle in Southern California, where his father's family is from, and as a preteen, he became heavily involved in the area's skateboarding culture. When he was born, the delivering doctor noticed that Jason Acuña's head was large compared to the rest of his body. Concerned that the baby might be hydrocephalic, the doctor ran tests and determined that Acuña instead had a genetic condition known as achondroplasia, which causes dwarfism. As a boy, Acuña's mother took him to an annual conference sponsored by the support group Little People of America, thinking that he might enjoy meeting other children with dwarfism. Acuña felt differently, however, telling the New York Times in 2022, "I came back and I go, Mom, I don't want to go to these things anymore. I'm like, that's not what my life is about." He compared the impulse to group people with dwarfism together to the idea that a bald man should be friends with other bald men. He's a dude, he's a jogger, he wants to hang out with other joggers. Skateboarder, hang out with skateboarders. As a young skateboarder in Torrance, California in the late 1980s and early 1990s, Jason Acuña began attracting attention. In his interview with the New York Times, he said he was already being sponsored by local skate shops at age 14. At the time, the local Torrance skateboard company was World Industries, and Acuña and his friends would try to score free merchandise at the company warehouse. Opened in 1987 by professional skateboarders Steve Rocco and Rodney Mullen, World Industries billed itself as the first skateboard company operated by and for skaters. The story goes that Steve Rocco's brother Sal gave Acuña his nickname, shouting, "Hey everyone, Wee Man is here," whenever Acuña would come around. A few years later, World Industries magazine Big Brother published a photo spread featuring Acuña and printed the nickname. After that, Wee Man was his official stage name. Much of the groundwork for what would one day become Jackass was laid at Big Brother magazine, the publishing arm of World Industries. Started by Steve Rocco in 1992, the magazine embraced its parent company's For Us, By Us ethos and ran skateboarding interviews and photo spreads alongside features and humor pieces that were unpolished, irreverent, and raunchy. In other words, it was
Jackass before Jackass.
Acuña got a job in the office by virtue of being local and hanging around so much that editor and future Jackass director Jeff Tremaine finally just put him to work. When Big Brother released its first video, a skateboarding compilation, Acuña appeared on the box art covered in blue paint. There's an egalitarian streak that runs through the 2+ decade run of Jackass. Everyone suffers on camera at some point, and everyone is the butt of the joke. Over the years, many of Acuña's stunts and pranks have been no different from the ones performed by Knoxville or the rest of the cast. But many of his best and most memorable stunts came from the unique opportunities afforded by his height. Acuña was often paired with cast member Preston Lacey, as their two polar opposite body types complement one another to comedic effect. Because of his stature, Jason Acuña is the most recognized Jackass cast member, even more so than Knoxville. His fame is inescapable, and he estimates that he's been recognized on the street nearly every day since the show premiered in the year 2000. Over the years, Acuña has avoided the tabloid attention that some of his castmates have faced. In fact, he has discovered that the name Wee Man serves a useful role in delineating those people who want to be his friend from those who simply want proximity to fame. Speaking to Gen Come magazine about romantic relationships, Acuña said, "No chick has ever called me Wee Man that I've dated. I've also never dated a chick that I noticed would call me Wee Man because it didn't feel like she was trying to date me." So if he's not wasting it on the spoils of fame, what does Jason Acuña do with his money? In 2008, he became an investor in the California-based Mexican restaurant chain Chronic Tacos, opening a franchise in Redondo Beach called Wee Man's Chronic Tacos. The chain was a good fit for him, not just because of the rock and roll street art aesthetic of its locations, but also as a connection to his father's family, which is of Mexican descent. In 2012, Jason Acuña took a rare leading man role in the family Christmas comedy Elfman. When a little girl makes a wish on an old elf doll to bring her father home on Christmas Eve, a magical elf played by Acuña appears to make the wish come true by morning, when Santa will bring him back to the North Pole. Little do they know that the little girl's father has been kidnapped by a group of thieves seeking his fantastic new invention. When the thieves attack the house, the elf must defend the family by believing in himself and becoming the Christmas superhero Elfman. The film was released direct-to-video and was not terribly well received. The most positive review might be this YouTube video featuring the children of Acuña's Jackass castmate Dave England.
I thought it was really funny that the robbers were not very smart.
Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more Looper videos about Jackass are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.